Well, the Lakers will face the Warriors in the play-in tournament tomorrow. We're used to seeing LeBron and Steph Curry lock horns in the postseason when Curry is 15-7 against LeBron. And when asked about facing Steph in the playoffs again, LeBron said, quote, "We're playing versus, in my opinion, the MVP of our league this year in Steph. We got to be prepared for everything they have. They have championship DNA." So, Shannon, how big a problem are Steph and the Warriors to your Lakers?
This is a dangerous team, Skip, for the simple fact Steph Curry built his legacy, built his reputation on taking down. Remember him in the NCAA tournament, Skip, beating Gonzaga, Georgetown, Wisconsin. He almost pulled off in the Elite Eight, beating Kansas.
He almost did.
So we know what he represents. If you look at him over the last 20 games, Skip, he's been as good as at any point in time in his career. Might be even better than when he was in his back-to-back MVP season, Skip. And the last time he won it unanimous. The scoring run in which he's on and the way he's shooting the ball, he's basically, you got to pick him up at half court. Because if you don't, he'll walk into a 35, 40-foot three-point shot. And once he see a couple go in early, you got your night cut out for you for the rest of the night. And so this is what they represent. Draymond is playing extremely well as the point, whatever you want to call him, point center, point forward, point guard, whatever you want to call him. He's doing unbelievable. He might be the first guy in a very long time, Skip, to average more assists than points. And that just goes to show you how he is the engine. He's the driving force because he's playing lights out defense on one end. He's getting them into their sets on the other end. So he's been invaluable this year. And I'm glad to see Draymond have a bounce back season. He's nicked last year. No Clay being out, Steph being out, all those games. And so Draymond gets an opportunity to get one of his sidekicks back and say, hey, let's go to work, fellas. Skip, this is a dangerous team. The Lakers know what they represent. Steph is not the only one that can get hot from three. They got Toscano Anderson and they got Jordan Poole. They got some guys, Andrew Wiggins, Skip. Every once in a while, he'll stick his head above the water and drop 35, 40 on you. So this is a very dangerous team. The Lakers know they're going to have to guard. And what happens is, Skip, a lot of times they get offensive rebounds. You're scrambling. Once you start to scramble, you're out of position. Now, what does that mean? Steph Curry is going to be probably wide for a 28, 25-foot three-point shot. Somebody's going to be wide open. So they're going to have to man the boards. They're going to have to be spot on. Because I don't really know how much now, Skip, teams are really practicing. You're going to do a lot of this through film study. But this is a dangerous, dangerous team. Steph Curry is playing with extreme confidence right now. He feels he can do no wrong. He feels that there's not a shot that he can't take and make. And when you're playing someone that has that kind of confidence, they see a couple of shots going early, and it's good night, Irene. So the Lakers have their work cut out for them. I expect them to play one of their better ball games in order to win this ball game. But this, I think, when the NBA, I don't necessarily knew if they thought they were going to get a matchup like this, Skip, for the first play in 7-8. You get the Lakers on one end with LeBron James and Anthony Davis, and then you get the 8 seed and Steph Curry, a two-time MVP. I don't think that's what they thought they would get, but they couldn't be more happier that they got this matchup because now the playoff really gets started. So the Warriors, Skip, you remember, the Lakers had the Warriors down by 14 in the fourth. And Steph Curry and them guys shot up a shot right back into the ball game. The Lakers made sure that didn't happen the next time they played. But this is going to be, I think the game will be closer than what you think. But I do think the Lakers pull away late.
So, for the NBA's sake, I love the marquee matchup of a play-in game featuring the King versus the quote-unquote MVP.
The chef.
The chef. LeBron, though, embarrassed me and embarrassed himself and embarrassed the league by trying to campaign for Steph being MVP. Like, what are you doing? You're just trying to butter him up. No, you got to face him.
Skip, you know how LeBron feels about him. You remember in the finals before KD got there, they asked LeBron, how do you stop Steph Curry? He's like, how do you stop Steph? The same way you stop me. You can't. So he's always had praise. Remember he was at Davidson? Who showed up to watch him play in the NCAA tournament? So he had the utmost respect. You always do that. Why that man
Wait
can't
a second. Remember when Brian Windhorst, who knows LeBron just about as well as anybody in the media, was reporting that he resented the fact that Steph Curry won back-to-back MVPs, that he thought at least he should have won one of those two, right?
Yeah, he probably thought he should have won one of James Harden's or one of KD. It happens, Skip. Just because I think I deserve to win something doesn't mean I dislike you for winning something.
Remember when he resented Steph because he thought Steph was more beloved than LeBron, because Steph is more relatable, because he's more average sized at 6'3", and he looks like he's about 5'11" on the court compared to everybody else? Am I right?
Skip, first of all, you and I both know this king is the king. He's the face of the NBA. You know that. We go all over the world. We
No
go to China,
jealousy,
Thailand.
no resentment of anybody,
Skip,
right?
You always try to do that. Stop it.
It used to be operating just below the surface between those two, and Steph continued to get the best of LeBron, even though Steph didn't play huge in those matchups when they matched up in the finals, because Iguodala won the first MVP, then KD won the next two MVPs. Am I right?
Yes.
And to my point, Steph has never really come up MVP big in postseason. He's had too many disaster games, and one of those stretch of disasters allowed LeBron to win a championship in 2016 when they were 3-1 down. And look at what Steph didn't do in games 5, 6, and 7. Two of those games were at home, and in the fourth quarters of those 3 games, 2 of them at home, Steph was 3 of 12 from 3 with 7 assists to 12 turnovers. He was just horrendous. And in game 7 in the fourth quarter, he shot, for the whole game, he shot 6 of 19, 1 of 6 from 3, and he was 1 of 5 from 3 in the fourth quarter of game 7 at home. He allowed LeBron back into that series.
Well, you say he didn't play well in the playoffs? Ask the OKC Thunder. When they had him down 3-1, did he play well? Go ask the Portland Trail Blazers in 2016 when he came back off that knee injury and he dropped 40 on their head. Ask them, does he play well in the playoffs?
Well, I'm talking about the finals.
Well, it ain't the finals.
Go ask the Toronto team what happened in 2019, because they broke through and won a championship, probably their first and their last as a franchise. And in games 4 and 6 at Oracle, at home, Steph Curry was horrendous in those games. He was 2 of 9 from 3 in the first game and 3 of 11 from 3 in the second game, game 6, and he missed the last second shot. A good, clean, open look to win the game. Yeah. So that's the guy who you're trusting to come up big in a one-game playoff against LeBron at Staples. And I am not seeing it, because as much as I love on paper the matchup, on the court, I think it's a mismatch.
Skip, if you want to nitpick and take games, I can take every bad game that Jordan played and highlight it and say, see, well, he's not as clutch as you think. But that's what you did. You took basically every bad game that Steph Curry has played, even though he's probably played 75 or 100. You took the 6 in which he's played bad and said, see, he's not clutch. But I can show you the other 90 games that which he's played well in the playoffs and say he absolutely is clutch.
I just showed you 4 finals games at Oracle when he was the opposite of clutch.
Okay, what about the Western Conference Finals when they was down 3-1 to OKC?
Okay, all right, that's pre-finals.
This is pre-finals.
And that was about Westbrook versus Durant versus Westbrook versus Durant. They were just going back and forth. They crumbled, and Kevin said, I can't win with him. I got to get out of here. I got to join forces with those guys.
But Skip, you can't make it about when someone else lose, make it about their frailties. At some point in time, you got to give the other team credit. They did something to make you succumb to the pressure.
Okay, so here's what's going to happen tomorrow night at Staples. It's Steph or bust for Golden State.
Yeah, of course.
Right?
Yeah.
And the Lakers are a very good defensive team. In fact, they finished number 1 in defensive efficiency, and I don't know how. Because the last 20-odd games, they were not great on defense. I got to tell you. Not great.
Hold on. So what does the rating say? See, you love Pro Football Focus. When Pro Football Focus throws you a stat, you take it to your bank. Well, the NBA's defensive efficiency rating said the Lakers at 105 are the best.
Okay, so I'm going to give you that. And the point is that they have so many players that they can sick on Steph Curry, and they will sick them all.
Yeah.
Listen,
we started with Schroeder.
Frank Vogel is no fool, and Jason Kidd is definitely nobody's fool.
Yeah.
And right as we speak right now, they are designing defenses.
We're listening.
Okay, you're going to be all over him. You might triple team him. You are going to force the ball out of his hands or force him to try something that will be absurd, like a 35-foot three.
Yeah, guess what? It's called ABS. Anybody but Steph.
Okay, thank you. That's exactly what's going to happen. And you have plenty of defenders. Start with Schroeder, KCP, LeBron.
No, we can put LeBron on.
You can occasionally. You can double with LeBron.
Probably, what you call him? Caruso. Caruso will probably, get some of that.
And Wesley Matthews.
Wesley Matthews, yeah.
Okay. You got so many options to bother Steph Curry. You know what he's going to do? It's going to be another 2 for 14 from 3 night for Steph Curry.
What you got to do, Skip?
Who else is going to beat you? Kelly Oubre? He's out. Who else? Andrew Wiggins? You love him? You scared of him?
He comes and goes. Jordan Poole showed the other night, Skip. He went and got 30.
Kent Bazemore, you love him? I just don't. I'm sorry. They don't have Eric Pascal. They don't have Damian Lee. They don't have Big James Wiseman, their rookie center. They just don't have enough.
You got to hurt them inside, Skip. Okay. You got to clean them up on the boards. This is a game where Drummond needs to have somewhere between 15 and 20 rebounds. Okay. AD needs to get double-figure rebounds.
I respect Kevon Looney, and he'll defend. Yeah. And listen, Draymond, to your point, I read a stat this morning that nobody has allowed a lower percentage of shots at the rim than Draymond. Yeah. So he's not linked. He doesn't have linked or leaping ability.
Yeah, right. He ain't blocking shots like Gobert.
No, but he's blocking them with his head. Yeah. Like with his savvy.
He get the ball on the way up. He does a lot of. I watched him the other night, Skip. He blocked the shot. The guy, he gets it on the way up. He knocks the ball off your knee. He's better than you think. And when he challenges Skip, he goes straight up. Because, like you said, he's not Rudy Gobert. He's not Joel Embiid.
No,
so he doesn't have that
6, maybe 7.
Yeah, right.
Maybe?
Right. He doesn't have that kind of length. But he plays with his mind.
Plays with his mind. Okay, so they shocked me this morning when I read they're 5th in defensive efficiency. So they're actually better on defense than they are on offense. Right. They rank 18th I'm sorry, 19th in offensive efficiency. That's not very good.
Skip, shooting that many threes a game from that kind of distance.